Hello, everybody, and welcome back to First Ring Daily. As a reminder, today's episode is sponsored by Microsoft 365 and the modern desktop, the modern workplace, all that good stuff. You can find a friendly little link down below. And speaking of a friendly face, he's leaning out of the shot.
The new Xbox One X series, or X, whatever the hell it's called, controller, it's going to be USB-C, right?
Can we start with the breaking news today first, actually?
Is it that your daughter's screaming Moana, or whatever you said?
That is, in fact, happening. So if you hear some...
Because I have some commentary about that.
But it's even more breaking than that, Paul. I don't think you know this, because you probably would have brought it up by now. Okay. This is pretty big news, and I'm very curious to see how you're going to take this.
Well, we're going to do this live? Really?
Yeah, we're going to do it live.
My Bill Gates thing yesterday didn't go over too well. Are you sure you want to do this?
This is going to be great. This is going to be great.
All right.
Tom Brady said he's leaving the Patriots. Not even joking. Tom Brady announces he's leaving the New England Patriots. And
right. Technically, the trade or the what do you call it? The opening of free agents, whatever was yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. He said on Instagram, he says, although my football journey will take place elsewhere, I appreciate everything we have achieved and grateful for our incredible team accomplishments.
So I have two comments to this off the top of my head. Mm-hmm. One is after they won the last championship a year ago, I thought he should have just retired then. They had no business winning a championship at that point in his career.
Yep.
What a way to go out. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I very much want him not to play for the Patriots. I also very much want him just to retire.
Yeah.
Because I got to tell you, if you look at the long list of Brett Favre's, Vinny Testaverde's, whoever's that go on to other teams, with some rare exceptions, like Peyton Manning, who did not deserve to win a championship with the Broncos. Most of the time, it's just pointless. You know, it's like the Michael Jordan joining the Washington Wizards effect. Like, honestly, he had some flashes of brilliance. He was a great player still at that age. Open some car dealerships, Tom. Just open a wellness center with your wife.
Yeah, I mean, you're not doing it for the money. Like, that's...
Yeah, just, I do vaguely understand the competitive desire and how weird it must be to excel at and do one thing for your entire life, and then at the ripe age of, what is he, 42 or something, 43 even, or whatever, super young, be forced into retirement because you're an athlete, and those guys just don't last forever. Unless they're golfers, by the way, which is how you know that's not a sport. But anyway, no, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. That was unfair. We're all a little raw today, Brad. The point is, I wish he would go away.
Yeah, I hope he comes to the Bengals. That's what I hope. That would
he comes to the Bengals.
That would be great.
So he has not actually been selected by the team. I know the Titans were like one of the big ones in the. I don't think the Bengals were even in the running.
No, because I think the Bengals. If the Bengals better draft Joe Burrow, and that better be the end of that quarterback conversation. That's all that needs to happen there.
Oh, fair. Well, of course, yeah, and of course, I'm sure what Tom Brady wants is not to be backup quarterback mentor.
Right.
I'm sure he's looking for some down and out team where he can. Play every
that's
game
the thing that doesn't make sense in all this. Like, sometimes when you see a player leave a team this late, they're like, okay, I'm trying to find, like when LeBron left Cleveland, he was looking for a better support team to go win more championships. Like, Tom, you don't need more rings. Like, it's not like you haven't won a couple.
There's a lot of resentment out there for Tom Brady, unfortunately, and
he's a quarterback. I mean,
it's like, seriously, you're padding your stats now. Is that what you're doing? Like, what is? I don't know. He has nothing left to achieve. He will achieve nothing, statistically speaking, probably, almost certainly. But you know what? Maybe he just sees this as yet another challenge. Everyone like me who's doubting this, he'd love to prove them wrong and so forth. I mean, obviously I love the guy. I'm a Patriots fan, but I mean, enough.
So we'll see how the Patriots play next year. It'll be interesting. But back to the news actually of the day. Some of the PlayStation is going to announce their specs, I think, tomorrow. They announced today on the Twitters. So if you've been saying, hey, what is PlayStation doing? We've got the Xbox Series X stuff. Well, it looks like you're going to get your PlayStation stuff tomorrow.
Couldn't care less what PlayStation does. But yeah, good luck, guys. That's good for you.
I'm working on a post right now. I dug through like all the Microsoft write-ups, and a couple, like Digital Foundry went there and did a really good video, as they always do, like deep technical dive. And I'm just going to write up just some of the more interesting things that I found that didn't quite make the headline. But Paul, I am going to, I think Microsoft accidentally revealed something without revealing it.
All right.
So
All right.
as you know, on the Xbox One X, yeah, One X, it was codenamed Scorpio, and on the motherboard there's a
Yes.
little Scorpio, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so
Scorpio.
on the Xbox Series X,
Hmm.
remember we were calling it Anaconda for a while. That was
Hmm.
its code name, and then Microsoft came out really oddly and said, it's actually called codename Scarlet, right? And then everyone's like, oh, it's not
Yeah.
actually Anaconda or whatever.
Yeah, Brad. Why do you make up all those lies?
Yeah. So here's the interesting little factoid, Mister Paul Thurrott. Can you guess what image is
Yeah.
emblazoned on the motherboard of the
Guessing
X?
it's a snake of some kind.
It
Yeah.
is. So
All there in perfectly etched splendor for all to see.
yep. So what
Non-erasable form.
to me what this indicates is that Lockhart is obviously still a thing because the Anaconda name was accurate, and so
Right.
Lockhart is
Is
accurate.
this the lower? Is that the
lower-
Series S?
Yeah.
Essentially. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Okay.
because they didn't,
I will say. Sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm
I was
sorry.
gonna say
I don't mean to-
because if they would have gone with like a flower for Scarlet or whatever, that would have made a little bit. I would have been like, okay,
or
well
just
maybe
the letter A, like
yeah,
the scarlet
the
letter.
scarlet
you know?
letter on there. But the fact that they
Yeah.
went with that original code name and not the smoke and mirror one.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Mhm.
I do remember when they announced the name Xbox One Series X. It was like, what is this convoluted weirdness? But and I didn't come up with this. I mean, if someone wrote this or someone said this or whatever. But and maybe it was out of your idea that or your news that there were two versions in production.
Mhm.
That there could be a lower end one. It could be called the Series S.
Yep, makes
To keep
perfect
the name
sense.
in tandem with the previous gen. It totally made, and all of a sudden the name made sense.
Along with
because-
the Elite Series 2 controller.
Hopefully USB-C based to be hit on that.
Yeah, it is going to be USB-C based. The controller will be, and it
The
does
reason
have.
I mention that is I should show you this someday. I have this awesome octopus of USB cables over here.
Mhm.
All of them are USB-C except for one, which I keep on hand specifically to charge my Xbox controller, which I find incredibly irritating because it's, the, what do you call it? Micro USB or whatever the old one was,
Mhm.
or micro USB, right? It's like you have to, you try to like get it in. It's like, it has to be just right. It's like docking bay doors. Hell, could you let this thing in, please? It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So
Anyway,
it is USB-C, and the other thing worth pointing out, because people were concerned about this, it does have removable batteries. It's not like the Elite 2 where it charges and it's all sealed. It's AA batteries in there.
great. That's perfect. That's exactly the right way to do it.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. You know what else is good, Paul?
What's that?
Got my first win in Warzone last night. Felt good.
Oh, nice. Wow.
Felt good. Yeah.
I've only gotten a kill in Warzone, so but
Dude, I
only played it twice.
really like this game. Like this has sucked me back into college. I haven't played Apex in over a week. Like that's pretty.
Okay, that's good.
Because
That is good.
here's what it is. It's
Have you confirmed, by the way? I'm sorry. Are those maps in there? Like the
Yeah, they are. I've only
they
seen
are.
2 of them so far. The thing is like this map is massive.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
when
yeah.
you see
Well,
the map, like that you familiar, like Terminal and Broadcast, I think the only 2 I found so far. Maybe isn't Boneyard one of them?
yeah.
But
Oh,
they are like postage size stamps compared to the rest of the map. Like
that explains it because.
Yeah.
Sorry, our connection is terrible.
You're terrible, but
Well, I've only played it twice, so you fly in, you see the map, you look around, and I think the first time I'm like, there's a railroad station. I'm like, I know that will be from probably Bonaware for 1 or 2, I don't remember. Zip down to it, and I'm like, this looks absolutely nothing like that place, And then the next game, and I got killed immediately. The next game, I'm looking around, I see a plane in the airport, and I'm like, here we go, terminal. Zip. Nope. Looks absolutely nothing like it. And that time I did get a kill, and then I got killed. But again, it's like for me, like I keep complaining, super laggy, and I'm like, whatever. So
see the difference.
All right, that's good. I'm glad to know that. That makes it very interesting.
The difference is to get at least so far the maximum kind of value out of this. You got to play with like 2 friends because there's mechanisms.
You need to communicate.
Well, not even that, but there's mechanisms that if you die, you're not fully dead, right?
They can actually bring you back, right?
Yeah. So like when we play, I'm getting like, and for a battle royale game, for me, getting 5 to 7 kills is pretty dang good. Like usually it's like 2 to 3, and so we're averaging between like 5 and 7 each. and
Sure.
which makes it a good 20-minute session or
I
whatever.
mean, I
So,
have team deathmatch games where I have 40 to 50 kills,
right.
but yeah, I mean, you understand the appeal of that.
Yep.
But
But how many deaths do you have there, Paul?
sometimes as little as 0. In fact, I had my best streak the other day in that particular game. I think it was 37. But anyway, don't worry about that.
Yeah. So, PlayStation starts
Okay.
tomorrow. We got.
I'd also like to see those maps appear as standalone maps in Modern Warfare, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they already have all the resources. I mean,
Yep,
it's all
it's all
there.
there.
Like, why not? They should just make those. I hope they are. I assume they are.
And then the other big thing, because Microsoft, let's recap, on Monday, yesterday, announced the Xbox Series X specs. They announced 1 billion Windows 10 devices. They announced 17.8 fake insiders. And then they also sent
I
out...
love how that little factoid has passed without a murmur around the internet. Like,
Yeah.
Do people just accept these things at face value? Like there are 330 million Edge users, and it's like, yeah, no, there aren't.
Yeah.
Because math.
Right.
Anyway, sorry.
And then also Microsoft announced, and I honestly thought it was like a mistake because the invite looked very odd, a digital-only event, which makes sense, for March 30th, which is more than likely going to be Consumer 365, the version, maybe Teams for Life, that sort of thing is going to be announced in about 2 weeks.
I mean, honestly, given what's going on in the world, they would almost be well to just do that right now.
I know.
If they're going to, maybe it's not ready or something, but I mean, given what's happening in the world, whatever. But okay.
So, it is going to be, interestingly enough, it is going to be streaming only, which not a big surprise, but it's not going to be open. Like, it's not going to be like streamed on YouTube or something. It's a private.
Yeah, it's
streaming.
a press thing.
So, which is a little odd.
Yeah, and I don't know how that's going to work with us writing about it. It's weird that they announced it, or it went public. Well, I guess they just told us, and we people reported on it, but they knew that was going to happen, right? They didn't say, "Hey, by the way, don't write about this."
Yeah.
So, this, we know the time and day that this is going to occur. Are we able to write about it as it happens? Are they going to give us like a press release ahead of time? We don't know. I mean,
we don't know yet.
It's kind of an interesting thing that they're not letting in the public, because this is the type of announcement that, I mean, why wouldn't you just stream it? I mean,
yeah, it's a consumer facing thing. So,
yep.
We will, I don't know, maybe they're worried about connectivity or something, and they don't want it to go down, I guess, maybe.
Sure.
So, anyways, we will find out more about that here probably, well, in less than 2 weeks because of obvious reasons. So,
right.
Yep. You got anything else burning on your Tom Brady agenda?
No. Now that I'm digesting this Tom Brady thing. One thing I will say, just with regards to sports, is that Cincinnati can suck. No, is that no?
Look, we have a really long and rich history of sucking it. So
do you? Well, listen, we have a few minutes. Why don't you go over the entire history of it?
Yeah. So the history is, I had a lot of. I was excited about the season.
You go to like a rest area and there's like pamphlets for places, and sometimes those pamphlets are just like a single piece of paper. The Cincinnati thing would like fill on. Would fit right on the front of that. Anyway, no, we moved here almost 3 years ago, right? And so we retain some connection. I mean, when the Celtics won the championship in 2008, I was at the game with my brother, but I've watched less and less basketball every year since then for a variety of reasons. And when I go on YouTube and I watch old clips of like the Celtics and Lakers and Pistons and Bulls from the 80s and 90s, I mean, those are fantastic quality teams with good defenses. It's the stuff you don't see. And so I've sort of, Celtics are fantastic this year, I guess, but I don't really watch any basketball. I don't care. We still watch baseball, but mostly Red Sox. But, we have the whole season package, which this year is like a huge value because the games have been fantastic. We, just watch baseball. We watch local baseball. And so this is like a transition. Like the football one has been tough because this freaking guys like keep winning. And it's like, seriously, I know this is a weird problem, but it's like, I just wish this guy would retire and we can get over this, because frankly, I want to enjoy football for football. I like watching football, and not having like a stake in it in many ways, which I certainly am never going to root for a local team here. I can't stand these teams, but whatever. I mean, honestly, them moving on, them being terrible, them going through a transition year or years, whatever. I've been honestly kind of waiting for this. So to me, this is all good. I really like sports, and I like to be able to enjoy sports for sports. I watch the NBA playoffs and finals every year. I watch the baseball playoffs and World Series every year, straight through, no matter who's playing. And I watch a lot of football. Obviously, the Super Bowl we watch every year, regardless of who it is. So it's, again, I know it's a weird problem. We won so much, Brad. It's like getting tiring. I don't mean it like that, but it's.
Anyways,
I kind of want to.
So Sonos just announced
that they're okay. Here we go. Jeez, it's happening.
No, but they literally just tweeted this. So we'll probably have more on this in tomorrow's show. But they said this is from Sonos. It says, for owners of our earliest products, we want to provide more details on what to expect for your system later this spring. Learn how we are extending the life of your products and innovating for the future with a new app and operating system called Sonos S2.
Okay. So in other words, they were going to come up with some plan for old, let's call it legacy equipment and new equipment to, if not coexist, at least you'd be able to use both on separate networks, and that must be what they're talking about.
They should just call it Sonos Long-Term Stable Channel.
Nice. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
On that
I can tell you, in the middle of the coronavirus, we're all really worried about how our legacy Sonos equipment is going to interact with your other stuff. Like, that's a huge priority right now.
Well, I don't know. I got nothing. Anyways, folks, that wraps it up for today. Today's show was brought to you by Microsoft 365, the modern workplace for everything you need. You can find those links down below. And we'll catch all of you right back here tomorrow on the Tom Brady special.
Right.